Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first of two quick prediction shows for the Queensberry Promotions card from Liverpool this weekend. Co-main and main event this evening. Liam Tully with me right now. Jay's trying to get here. Whether he makes it or not remains to be seen, but hopefully he'll be here for the Nick Ball one after. Liam, a really interesting co-main event here. You've got Cain's British and Commonwealth Bantamweight Championships on the line. Edwards had the European, didn't he? He's had to vacate. Obviously had that. Was it Paul Butler he went through something through, whatever it was? But yeah, I'm interested, mate. Should be a good one. What are your thoughts before we get the picks going?
Yeah, look, it's a mad situation, isn't it, with Charlie? So he wins the European belt as the mandatory challenger to Isumba, tries to get a voluntary defence with Paul Butler in. The European boards won't sanction it, and then instead of offering him a mandatory, they strip him, which, hey, again, just sums up the craziness of boxing. So what should be British, Commonwealth and European just as the two,
Yeah.
But it's a good enough fight. Cain and Edwards, they are two contrasting fighters, and that is probably the biggest understatement I can make. You've got a power merchant that steamrolls through the majority of his opponents in Andrew Cain, and your more slick, cute, looks to kill you with 1,000 punches rather than one punch in Charlie Edwards. And it's a great battle of styles. I mean, look, Cain 13-1. He's bounced back from losing a split decision to Beluta with 3 back-to-back stoppages. The furthest he went is 5 rounds against Ashley Lane. So his tail's up. Charlie Edwards, look, we all know the Charlie Edwards story. Obviously, fell out of love with boxing. The story with Joe Gallagher could be what you believe him to say, or what the reality more likely is he didn't enjoy not being the star. He's had a bit of a renaissance under Stephen Smith last year over at Wasserman. And for me, people are overlooking him, thinking that he's over the hill. But the reality is, let me just check. He's 31, fair enough.
Yeah, he's still young enough, to be fair.
It's only his 22nd fight. It's not like he's had a load of miles on the clock. He's only had 1 loss on his record as well. I actually think that this is where his experience will show. He's been in with better level of opponents than Cain has. So yes, okay, Cain has the power, but power is only good if you can actually navigate your way around a boxer. We know Charlie Edwards is awkward and very difficult to hit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm interested because, as you say, Cain's looked fantastic. You know, dealt with Flash Ash Lane to get his hands on the British. That was a Cinderella story itself, to be fair. But yeah, I agree with you. It's like the bull and the matador, essentially. But I think Cain can box. He definitely cuts angles off well. Big up to Humble Apple Crumble in the chat, joining us as always. Ball and Belanga double KO. Yeah, I think that's got a very good chance, my friend, of hitting this weekend. Yeah, look. It's probably last chance saloon for Charlie. I think I've been keeping up. I don't know if you've seen any of it, mate. He's got a YouTube channel now. Life in the camp. Sonny's been there. Obviously, I think it's Portugal. He's been out training in. Obviously, as you say, had a bit of a renaissance with Swifty Smith.
Yes.
Here he is, the main man. JFT, how are we, my friend?
Can't hear me, no.
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Me and Liam have given our thoughts for Cain against Edwards. We haven't given our predictions yet, but have you got any thoughts on the matchup, mate, first of all?
Yep, I hope Cain punches a fucking hole in Charlie Edwards' face. Can't stand him. Arrogant prick. He's destroyed his own career being an arrogant prick. No one likes him. Fans do not like him. He thinks he's a lot better than he is. And I've heard, this is not just me, because I've not really got an opinion of him. I say I can't stand him, but I'm vanilla, I'm beige about him. I don't like or dislike. I like his brother, and I respect his skill set, but he's up his own backside, and he's been like that ever since he won a world title, and he just assumed he had to turn up, and he bigs himself up, and he holds himself up on this pedestal, but he don't back it up with performances. He did it again.
Yeah, weren't a big fan of him, were they?
No, and he avoided those fights for as long. He avoided those fights. Sonny was the only one that had the guts to take one of them on, knowing that he was half out the door. Really, that wasn't the Sonny Edwards that we've become accustomed to. But anyway, look, we're not talking about Sonny, who originally was Charlie Edwards' little brother, and he's just superseded anything and everything that Charlie's done. I think that this will be a fairly easy night's work for Cain. I think it's going to be even for a couple of rounds, and then I just think that Cain hits too hard, he's too big, and he's too strong, in my humble, uneducated opinion.
Yeah, look, I'll kick on with my prediction before Liam gives his, because I think I know what angle Liam's going to go. I'm just going to piggyback off what Jay said. To be fair, I think Charlie's going to win a couple of the rounds. I think Cain will be, I'm not saying tentative, but he'll just have a look at Charlie for a little bit. But once he realizes that there's not much pop coming back, he's fresher than Charlie, cuts down the angles, and he'll just bulldoze him, in my opinion. I think it might be in the second half of the fight, to be fair, that he eventually gets out. Could be Swifty throwing the towel in maybe, or something like that, because I think Charlie is quite tough deep down. I think like Jay maybe touched on, it could be an ego thing, I don't know, but I think he's tough. Sonny's tough as well. I think they're just both tough lads in general. They don't hit hard, but they can fight. That's one thing about them. So yeah, look, I think Cain's just gonna get him. I really do. I don't see too much threat coming from Charlie. He's got to be perfect for 36 minutes. I'm going to hand to Liam now, because I think maybe that's the angle that he goes down. But I think Charlie's going to have to be absolutely bang on it to have a chance of beating Cain on Saturday night.
We said it before Jay joined us, that you couldn't get two more contrasting styles if you tried. You've got the, boxer death by 1,000 punches style of Charlie Edwards, and the puncher brawler that has iced near enough everyone he's been in the ring with Andrew Cain. My caveat for leaning towards Charlie is he's been a previous world champion. He's mixed it with a better level so far. So when it comes to navigating his way around a fight, I believe Charlie has the advantage there. There's no denying that if Cain lands and connects, it's lights out, it's good night. But I think Charlie has it in him to make it a messy fight, to make it a scrappy, tough watch, not something we're going to enjoy watching and nick a points decision. That's where I'm going, Charlie on points.
I think Liam's only said that because he's the only one of the three of us that goes to them bullshit Channel 5 shows, and he's scared of the Edwards.
He must have got the autograph at the York Hall last time out. That's it.
I can see you lining up in your head, mate. I can see that slide.
And 8 rounds to JFT to finish it off.
I'm only joking. Look, I just think Edwards is... I'm not going to say he's washed, because, that would just be hating. I just don't think he's as good as he was. And that comes with age, inactivity, injury, change of trainer. It was a messy sort of end to the Gallagher relationship, which won't have helped his psyche. He's now with Stephen Smith, who's slowly and quietly becoming a really well-respected coach. And look, Stephen was a world-class boxer in his own right. He's from boxing, British boxing royalty, let's say, the Smiths, because whatever you think or don't think about the Smiths, what they've done in British boxing is unheralded and unmatched. All 4 of them won British titles, and a couple of them went on to world honours. So he's transitioned into coaching great, and you can see the improvements within Charlie. The only thing that makes me hesitant to think he wins the fight is in his last fight, in times in that fight, Stephen was giving him instructions to do things when I watched it back with the sound on, and he couldn't do them. And that was, speed, age. He was telling him to move in certain patterns, and you could see he was trying to do what Stephen was saying, but it just wasn't there. I think Cain, if he turns up and has a decent night and he's anywhere near 100%, I think 100% Andrew Cain beats a 100% Charlie Edwards. And as I said when I first came on with the fire, I think that for 3 or 4 rounds, this fight will be hitting sort of tit for tat. Edwards is really fast in combinations. He's got really good footwork. Very similar style to Sonny, but relies on his strength and power a little bit more than Sonny, because obviously he's bigger and he does hit a little bit harder. Great body puncher. But I just think that Cain is going to be too fresh, too big, too strong. And I see... After about round 6, I see it starting to wear, the pace starting to wear. Because in Charlie's last fight, in his successful defence, he fought at his own pace, really. He didn't really get bothered much in that fight.
Luxury on Saturday. No chance.
Cain's not going to give him a second to breathe. And I think eventually that will catch up with Charlie. And I just think that I see him getting stopped. Maybe corner stoppage, sort of around 9-10, that sort of area.
Yeah, I think he's tough. Go out on his shield, definitely. But yeah, me and Jay are on one side, Liam is on the other. It's not the first time.
No, and I'm not dismissing Charlie as sort of not being able to take a shot.
Last time it
not
happened
being
was Paddy Donovan.
I'm going to bet on a DQ, mate.
Yeah.
Come on, Charlie, elbow him. But no, I just think that if this fight had happened 2 or 3 years ago, I'd have been similar to Liam. It'd have been a no-brainer for me. But Charlie Edwards is not the Charlie Edwards that won the green belt.
Kane's on a different trajectory, isn't he, than Charlie? But look, we'll see how it plays out. It's going to be a good fight. Of course, we'll be there watching it. Join us for the watch along on Saturday night. 2 for Cain, 1 for Charlie Edwards. Join us in a couple of minutes. We'll be back for the main event, last prediction show of the week, Ball versus Dehenny. Cheers to Jane Liam as always, and anyone that's joined us. Take care, guys.